Um, I got 5 books to review, and if you're new to the channel, I review the books from least liked to pick of the week. Um, I got a pretty nice week. Not overwhelmingly great, but not bad at all. So this video is gonna probably be long as they always are, so I might as well get to it. With the first book. Oh, before I get to it, timestamps below to skip to any review. I always forget to say that, but you don't have to watch the whole video because there's timestamps below. But anyways, the first book, Green Arrow, issue number 1. That was kind of a cool thing that I just did. I held it here and then I went like that. Yeah, I did get the 3D holographic whatever version for $1 more of this book, and super regretting it because whereas the cover is really cool, I didn't really like the story on the inside because for whatever reason I said I was gonna drop Green Arrow and I didn't, and I bought it again, and yeah, not happening again. First of all, I thought this was going to be a one-shot issue, kind of telling the demise of the Oliver Queen Green Arrow as they're doing for this Future's End stuff. I thought it was going to be a cool deal doing that. It's turning out that it's going to go over into more issues. Wasn't even impressed. We're talking more Outsiders stuff in this issue. The Outsiders War arc kind of turned me off the Outsiders altogether. And so I was totally uninterested as soon as the Outsiders got brought up in this issue, which was kind of early. There are some good parts in this issue where we find out this whole thing takes place 5 years later, where Emiko is now kind of parading as the Green Arrow, where Oliver has been kind of missing in action for a while, and he pops up again and he says he has to do this thing. And you know, it's just there's the mission that he has to do, and it's all kind of dry to me, and yeah, I did not really care for Green Arrow. I love the Green Arrow character, that's the problem, and I'm just not enjoying the book. I don't think I ever, maybe 1 or 2 issues since I've been picking up have I actually enjoyed thoroughly, and that is not a good ratio since I started picking it up. Starting the first issue after the arc that everybody loved from Jeff Lemire, the first arc that he did. I was gonna try out the book with the Arrow Riders, but I don't know. Maybe if things change and I can be having more books on my pull, maybe it might get another chance. But I don't think Green Arrow's gonna stay. Anyways, next book here is Original Sin, issue number 8, the final issue of the event. This is gonna all read a lot better together, you know, as anything does really. But as a standalone issue itself, kind of wrapping up everything, the questions that we've been wondering have been answered. Although, as you're reading it, closer to the end too, so it's not bad form, but as you're reading it, it's not a big surprise on who killed the Watcher. You know, you kind of get the gist of who did it before it gets announced out loud in this issue. And but what this issue is, what is more interesting about it is the reason why, and you know, like how it went down and things like that. This issue is very much kind of Nick Fury versus everybody else, or at least versus Dr. Midas and the Mindless Ones, and kind of him also telling his story, and you know, kind of what he's been doing. And if you've been keeping up with Original Sin, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't want to give too much away, seeing as how this is the final issue of the whole thing, but I'll probably do a possibly non-spoiler, but it might be better to do a spoiler review of Original Sin as a whole. I'll do that one of these days and reread all the issues together, and come back with a better review for this book. But anyways, Original Sin issue number 8, I pretty much enjoyed, and I felt like it got wrapped up very nicely, and this has been my favorite event since I've been reading comics. So, yeah. The next book I have here was the book that made Pick of the Week last time it came out. Just the other 2 books that came out were a bit better. And this is Spider-Man 2099, issue number 3. Issue number 2 kind of showed Liz Allen, right? Yeah, Liz Allen. In issue 2, Miguel had to reveal that he is from the future, although he did not reveal that he's the 2099 Spider-Man to Liz Allen. And we start off dealing with the repercussions of that, where she's actually not really that affected, being that she's been through a lot in her life, and it's not even a far-fetched idea to her. But she does have like some leverage on Miguel, and at the same time she is also his boss. So we see their kind of relationship as it remains sort of oddly professional. And then in this issue we have Miguel's made to go with Tiberius Stone to a foreign country to help Tiberius sell spider slayers to this country or to a dictator, so the dictator can use the spider slayers to induce fear into the rebelling population in his country. Obviously, Miguel O'Hara is very against it, and he does speak his opinion, but yet he's made to go over there, and then things kind of break out loose, and action ensues. Well-known Spider-Man villain ends up showing up in this issue as well, and he has a good explanation for being there. And then this issue, or this arc, is just coming out to be kind of a classic 1980s Spider-Man story, really, where a Spider-Man kind of travels to a foreign place and has to deal with an enemy in kind of not their surroundings. And the way Peter David's writing it makes it very interesting, and the art in it is fantastic, and I'm just really enjoying the book. It's one of the better Spider-Man books. So that's Spider-Man 2099 issue 3. Next book here is Moon Knight issue number 7. I'm happy to say that the book was not, at least in my opinion, it did not fall off the map. Definitely wasn't. You could definitely tell that there was different minds behind the book, although it did keep very close to what Warren Ellis was doing writing-wise, and art-wise, what Declan Shalvey was doing. The art is very similar, not the same, but similar. I of course prefer Shalvey, especially because he's now one of my favorite artists, which is weird because when he was on Venom, starting with Venom, I was like, what the heck is this? But he's very much grown on me and is now one of my favorite artists. And so naturally I'm getting to like him more. But anyways, to this book, keeps in the same of the one-shots. Well, actually does not keep in the same with the one-shot story, but it tells a story that wraps up in this issue and then will continue. So it's almost like there's a part 2, but the part 2 is like the thing that comes to mind is like the Dark Knight Returns movies, part 1 and part 2, very dissimilar but very much the same book or same movie. This is kind of what this feels like to me, because it wraps up a big chunk of a story, and then it seems like with the end of this there's going to be a continuation of something, which is cool. This story, we find who later we find to be an AWOL soldier with some high-tech equipment that he acquired while in the military, going after a kind of a bad dude, let's just say, from another country, because I can't think of like a military ruler or something. Oh no, he was a general. Sorry, I can't really remember the mains or the whole minor details, but he was a general, for a corrupt general for some country that I think is fake. And the soldier is going after him, and he blacks out all of New York to kind of get a lock on this guy specifically, and then Moon Knight goes in to stop him, and it's really cool. The action is there, the art really works well, and what is kind of my favorite parts in this whole thing is that it's Moon Knight's dialogue. He's talking a lot more than he was in Warren Ellis's issues and things like that, but I do like the fact that he's still kind of witty and just matter of fact about things. Do not want to talk to you. Sorry about that. That scared the hell out of me. Moon Knight is still kind of matter of fact about things and witty, and that keeps a good spirit to this book. So, anyways, Moon Knight issue number 7. Awesome cover by Chauvet. Don't leave a message. Nice. And it was just a good book. Sorry, that review went way too long because of that and me stumbling. But anyways, final book and my pick of the week, and that goes to Superior Foes of Spider-Man issue number 15, the second Spider-Man title, Spider-Man related title on my video and the pick of the week. And what I've really liked about this, and this has nothing to do with this issue, so really, and I might have said it in the haul video, but is that Spider-Man has made, in the main plot of the story that's been going on, Spider-Man has made no appearance at all, and he's only been in maybe 1 or 2 issues of this title where Nick Spencer was not writing it, and they were kind of one-off issues. So even though it's Superior Foes of Spider-Man, Spider-Man is not in it. So I call it a Spider-Man title just because Spider-Man's in the title. But this book continues with Shocker revealed himself in the last issue, and he was being a badass. And then in this issue, kind of things take a turn for Shocker, and a big turn really. And let's just say the rest of the gang kind of seizes control of the head of Silvio Silvermane. And what makes this book, before that, they seize the head of the Magi leader, and they kind of meet with they make a deal to meet with some mafia to make an exchange for, the main thing is try to get power. And so they celebrate and things like that. But what makes this issue so good and why it's my pick of the week is how funny it is. There's a scene where Hammerhead is seeing a shrink about seeing Silvio again and how it made him feel and how he felt scared again. Whereas when he thought Silvio was dead, he felt great. And it turns out the shrink that he was seeing is just one of his goons, and his goon is like, I'm not really a shrink, after he told him all his like story about it. And there's way more funny parts in this book. It's just really good. The story is very long. It's been going on since the first issue, really. It's really one arc. It's not even an arc. It's more of just a continuation of how things are going. This book goes day by day, really, and which is really cool, because a lot of books get put into arcs, and 2-3 issues, possibly more, one story then segues into the next story, whereas this has just a singular flow to it. And I think that's really cool. The characters are super interesting and super funny, and the cover's great. The art inside is great. And at the end of this book, there's some double crossing going on, to say the least, and it's gonna make for a very interesting twist to the gang's good fortune. So that's Superior Foes of Spider-Man, issue 15, and that's it for the books that I have. Nothing really much else to say, so I'm Wellington signing off for the Comic Book Lowdown. I'll see you guys next time.